What's up, everybody? This is Domingo here on Network, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be talking about the new Ice Bear sword because we actually got more Ice Bear support. So, yep, there's going to be two new Ice Bear cards. Two new cards for Ice Bears. Is going to be in the structure deck Freezing Chains, aka Ice Bears of the Frozen Prison, and also there's one Ice Bear card that is going to be in a V-Trump promo coming out in the OCG in the month of January 2021 next year, which I'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk about the two cards that's going to be in the Ice Bear structure deck. So we got a continuous spell card, and the name of this continuous spell is called Clear Wall of the Ice Barrier. So Clear Wall of the Ice Barrier is a continuous spell card, and its effect says you can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. First effect, when this card is activated, you can target one level 4 lower monster in your graveyard special summon it. Second effect, while you control 3 or more Ice Barrier monsters you control are unaffected by the activation of effect from an opponent's monster special summon from the extra deck. Okay. Decent card, I gotta say. I think this card is pretty good because it's good because, like, you know, special summoning a level 4 or lower Ice Bear monster graveyard special summon is pretty cool, especially like if you can use your Foolish Burial or even the Tuna Monster Frostbeard, the Ice Barrier, like, because Frostbeard Ice Barrier has like a Foolish Barrier for Ice Barrier, but send like a level 3 or lower. You know, like if you want to send your Prior, you want to send your Defender and stuff. So if you got that, and also with Mirror Master and stuff like that, you're gonna special summon level 4 or lower monster graveyard with this card. So basically, it's like a monster buff for Ice Bears, and of course, it gotta be level 4 or lower. The second effect is pretty unique as well, because you know, your Ice Bear monsters is being unaffected by the affected opponent's monsters special summon for the extra deck, basically like Fusion, Synchros, Xyz, and even Pendulums if they're from the extra deck. I don't know about the Pendulum, even, and also Links as well. So that's actually pretty decent in my opinion as well, because there's some decks out there that actually mostly special summon monsters from the extra deck and stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. So this is probably one of the good Ice Barrier cards. Pretty unique, and you know, there's a lot of combos in place you could do. Hell, you know, if you send Prize to the graveyard, you can actually special summon this card. And yeah, because this is one of the cards that you got that helps you. Especially on level 4 lower. And you know what? That's actually good, like, for Prior, because I know there's like Prior's first effect, which is not that good. Because if you activate its first effect special summon, like, hey, when you control Ice Bear monsters, you can't special summon level 5 or lower, level 5 higher monsters. But there's like other ways that you can actually go to get to Prior without even using the first effect, which is good, and this card can help. So this is probably one of the good Ice Bear cards in my opinion. And also, this card can actually be searched with General Wayne, because remember, General Wayne of the Ice Bear has an effect says when he's no special summon, right? You can search for Ice Bear spell and trap card. Definitely search for this one as well. So that's actually good. Next, all right. So we got a new trap card for Ice Bears. It's called Pulse of Trishula, and this card's effect says you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn each. First effect, apply these effects in sequence based on the number of Ice Bear synchro monsters with different name you control. 1 plus banish one card your opponent control. Basically, if you have one or more Ice Bear synchro monsters with different names, you can banish one card your opponent control. If it's 2 or more, if it's 2 plus, basically 2 or more Ice Bear synchro monsters with different names, you banish one card in your opponent's graveyard. If it's 3 or more of the Ice Bear single monster, banish one card randomly from your opponent's hand. And the second effect says when your opponent activates a card effect that targets a Ice Bear single monsters you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the effect. Okay, so it's pretty unique. Okay, it's pretty good. I mean, the first effect, you know, it's like a Trishula, but like a track card. But the only thing I gotta say is that it's okay, but the thing is, you have to have like Ice Bear synchro monsters, and it has to be with different names as well. That's the only problem I gotta say about this card. And another problem I have to say, this card doesn't say a name of an Ice Barrier. It's good for like Ice Bear synchro monsters, but it doesn't say like an Ice Bear name, because that's another problem too. Because the name of this card is called Pulse of Trishula. The problem with that is that this card cannot be searched with General Wayne, because it's not an Ice Bear card name. You know, it has an effect for Ice Bear single monsters, but it's not really an ice barrier named cards. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only problem with that, I have to say. But as far as the second effect, it's pretty okay, I guess, because it does protect your ice barrier shaker monsters from being targeted by an opponent's activation card effect. Of course, it has to be in the graveyard managed this turn. So it's all right, I guess, but I feel like I wish it could have been better, and I wish it would have said like an ice barrier name of a track, because you cannot search this card with general main, unfortunately. So that's the only downfall, but it's okay. It's an okay card in my opinion, but but only works for ice barrier shaker monsters, and of course you have to have different names as well. It's kind of like a little downfall, and yeah, so it's kind of like a down. And the thing about this too, guys, is that the problem with Konami though is that when they make ice barriers cards in the main deck, it's not even that good. That's the thing. The ice barrier synchros are good in my opinion, but as far as the main deck of it's not that great. That's the problem with Konami doing that. I feel like the effects of ice barrier should have been a lot better. So, but this card, it's okay. So yeah, I wish it would have been like better, and I wish it would have said like an ice barrier name. So yeah. All right, so those are the two cards that are going to be in the ice barrier structure deck. Next, we're going to move on to another ice barrier card. Now, this ice barrier card will be coming out in the OCG and on the in the OCG. Release date says November 21st, 2020, and also we don't have a release date for this card yet to come out in the TCG. So this card is going to be coming out in the V-Drum Pro. The name of this card is Attendance of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 2 water attribute warrior effect monster. And of course, before I say the effect, I just want to Konami, they were like hyping up this card. And not only that, when they first introduced this card a few weeks ago, at that time, it didn't show the effect. So I decided to wait until we get, the information about the effect and stuff. So we actually got the effect now. And the effect says you can only use this card's name first and second effect once per turn each. First effect says you contribute this card to special summon one level 5 or higher ice barrier monster from your hand. Second effect, if this card is in your graveyard except the turn, this card was sent to the graveyard, you can target one level 3 or higher water monster you control. Have that monster lose 2 levels, and if you do special summon this card, but banish it if it leaves the field. Okay, now the first effect, it's special ice barrier monster level 5 or higher. It's good for like special summon your General Wayne or your General Raiho, your Media, your General Katala, your General Grenar, your Dai Sojo. That's the only monsters that have level 5 or higher. But, well, level 5 or higher ice barrier monsters. But it's the first effect is kind of a little bit disappointing to me. I felt like I wish it would have seen maybe like any ice barrier monster from your hand. That would have been a lot better or something. But man, level 5 or higher ice barrier monster. And not to mention you have to tribute it as well. And the problem is that if you normal summon this card, you're gonna waste your normal summon and special on level 5. That's the problem, though. It's good for General Wayne, but still, it's a little bit disappointing to me. As far as the second effect, it could have been a little bit better too, because the problem with the second effect is you have to wait until the next turn to special summon this card, and not to mention you have to have a level 3 or higher. You have to target a level 3 or higher water monster you control, but it has to lose 2 levels and special summon. But that's fine. The second effect is okay, but the only problem I have is that you have to wait until the next turn, because if you even foolish burial this card or send it with false fear of the ice barrier, you cannot summon this card the same turn. You have to wait till like the next turn in order to do it. That's the problem. And that's what some problem that some Yu-Gi-Oh player has with this card. And some Yu-Gi-Oh players, they didn't like this effect of this card. They felt like, oh, it could have been a lot better. Some people say it was strange. To me, it's an okay card. I wish it would have been better too. I heard some people say, oh, we should, boycott the structure, and I'm like, nah, man, I don't think so. I do agree. It's a little bit disappointing to me, just a little bit, but I feel like it could have been a lot better. But will I give this card a chance? Yeah, I'll give it a chance. And the thing about this too, Konami also said this card could be good for not just for Iceman, but also good for Warriors and for Water decks. Now, I don't know what Warrior deck could be good playing this card. I do know some water decks like Penguins and Mermels and Atlanteans and some other water. There's like other water decks too, but I don't know if those water decks are going to be playing this card right here. So I mean, I will say the one that the second effect, when it says target a level 3 or higher water monster you control, and reduce the level by 2 and summon it from the grave. I mean that one's okay. That part is okay. The problem, like I said before, you have to wait until you cannot special summon this card the same turn that's in the graveyard. That's the problem though. And I feel like they should have never said that, in my opinion. That's the problem. So I mean, it could have been a lot better. Will I give this card a chance? Yeah, I guess I'll try it. I'll see how it goes. The first effect, I mean, it's okay in my opinion too, because there comes a time when you have like level 5 or higher Ice Spirit monster in your hand, and it could be a little bit bricky. But the problem with that is that you're gonna waste your normal summon, and that might not be that good sometimes. So yeah, but yeah, so that's all I can say about this card. It's a little disappointing, but again, I'll give it a chance and see how this goes. I guess I'll try this out and see how it goes. Probably play this in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Nexus and see how this goes. But yeah, second effect is okay. First effect, it could have been a lot better, but it's all right. So I think the only good card out of all these three is definitely the continued spell card. So yeah. But I will give these cards a chance, and I will get that structure deck, and when it comes out in TCG on February 19th, 2020, and also later this month is going to be coming out in the structure deck for Ice Spirit is coming out in the OCG this month, as well as this V-Drop promo of Attendance of the Ice Spirit. So that's it for this video, guys. So don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, post your comments in the comments below. Tell me what you think about the new Ice Spirit support. Let me know in the comments, and give me your thoughts and your opinions on these new Ice Spirit cards. And that's it for this video, guys. So this is the Big Hair Network. Take care. Have a good day. Goodbye, everyone. The Big Hair Network signing out. Peace.